Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. Hello everyone, and in this video we'll be talking about Portugal. Portugal is famous for its typical seafood dishes, popular beach destinations, and 16th to 19th century architecture from when this country was a powerful maritime empire. It is also known for its soccer legend, fado music, historical cities, and port wine. It is a tourist attraction for an infinite number of regions. Talking about beaches, traditional cuisines, soccer, lively people, ideally climate, affordable travel costs, and exceptional landscapes. It is not only becoming a tourist spot, rather a lot of people are thinking of moving and settling in Portugal. Portugal is a southern European country on the Iberian Peninsula, bordering Spain. Its location on the Atlantic Ocean has influenced many aspects of its culture. Salt cod and grilled sardines are national dishes. The Algarve's beaches are a major destination, and much of the nation's architecture dates to the 1500s to 1800s, when Portugal had a powerful maritime empire. Portugal occupies 1/6 of the Iberian Peninsula at Europe's southwestern perimeter. To its north and east is Spain, which makes up the rest of the peninsula. To the south and the west is the Atlantic Ocean, and to the west and southwest lie the Azores and the Madeira Islands, which are part of metropolitan Portugal. According to Article 65 of Portugal's Constitution, proclaims that all citizens have a right to a dwelling of adequate size, satisfying standards of hygiene and comfort, and preserving personal and family privacy. It further requires the government to establish housing policy that are based on urban planning that secures the existence of an adequate network of transport and social facilities, and to create a system of rents compatible with family income and of individual ownership of dwellings. Nevertheless, particularly in urban areas, Portugal has suffered from substandard housing and severe housing shortages. Dwelling sizes small by European standards. However, the rate of home ownership is fairly high, some 2/3 of dwellings being owner-occupied, and comparatively few owner-occupied homes carry mortgages. The government began to address poor housing conditions in the 1990s when it adopted measures to increase and improve the housing stock for less affluent people. Overall, property values are high, and some of the most desirable apartments are those in residential blocks built in the riverside area east of Lisbon that was cleared in the late 1990s for the World's Fair. Now let's talk about Portugal architecture. Various artistic styles or movements have dominated Portuguese architecture throughout the ages, including Romanesque, Gothic, Manueline, Portuguese Renaissance, Portuguese Baroque, Rococo, Bombaline, Neo-Manueline, soft Portuguese style, and contemporary architecture. Outstanding examples of Portuguese architecture include the ornate Manueline style, Jerónimos Monastery in Lisbon, the Sé Cathedral in Lisbon, in the facade of which the remains of Roman construction may still be seen. The Place of Justice in Lisbon, fine, soaring example of austere modern architecture. The age of discovery left a legacy of fine architecture in Portugal. The finest examples are found in the country's religious buildings and magnificent palaces, most of them showing outside influences harmoniously blended with local traditions. The earliest architectural monuments are the megaliths and the mysterious dolmens in the Alentejo province, dating from between 4000 to 2000 BC, and the Celtic hill forts from 800 to 200 BC in the north of country. Some of these forts were later absorbed by the Romans, whose architectural legacy includes a temple in Ifora, several stone bridges, and residential villas. Of the later Germanic invasions are a handful of Visigothic chapels, and from the Moors are several castles. Portugal boasts several score of medieval castles as well as the ruins of several villas and forts from the period of Roman occupation. Romanesque and Gothic influences have given Portugal some of its greatest cathedrals, and in the late 16th century a national style. Arte Manolina was synthesized by adopting several forms into a luxuriantly ornamented whole. Outstanding examples of Portuguese architecture include the ornate Manolina style, Jerónimos Monastery in Lisbon, the Sake Cathedral of Lisbon, in the facade of which remains of Roman construction may still be seen. The Place of Justice in Lisbon, a fine soaring example of austere modern architecture, the castle, and the churches of the Convent of Christ in Tomar. The late Portuguese Gothic Abbey of Santa Maria da Vitória in Batalha, the Granite Tower of Glaris in Porto, and the Braga's Romanesque Cathedral, Lisbon's Vexia neighborhood in Pombaline style. For Sebastião de Carvalho Marques de Pombal, who rebuilt Lisbon after the 1755, remains admirably today. As modern cities have expanded, there has been a revival of interest in traditional domestic and folk architecture, and is found in the hand-hewn stone of Beores, the low park of Alentejo, and the cottage chimney in the Algarve. Modern architecture has aroused considerable controversy. Some buildings with star lines include the National Archives of Torre do Tombo, the Belém Culture Center, the grandiose Caixa Geral Bank Building, and the Expo 98 site in the Parque das Nações, which includes an oceanarium and a railroad station. Some contemporary architectures have successfully blended classic Portuguese styles with modern functions. Among these are Fernando Tavora, Nuno Teotonia Pereira, and Álvaro César Vieira, who was responsible for successful reshaping of Lisbon's Caedo area, a historic section of the city that suffered extensive fire damage in 1988. There is a new generation of Portuguese architects with remarkable works being awarded internationally. Thanks for watching this video till the end.